I would like to thank each one of you for accepting our invitation to this Odisha Investors Meet. This meet is being organized in Hyderabad today to serve two purposes. One is to present to you vast existing and emerging opportunities for your businesses in Odisha, and more importantly, to inform you about the Odisha Conclave 2022. This is going to be the third edition of Make in Odisha Conclave, our state's flagship investment summit. Over the last 2 decades, Odisha has achieved phenomenal success in all social indicators and transformed the predominantly agrarian economy to being the industrial hub of the East. The past 2 decades have been the story of the rise of Odisha, a rise that is yet to hit its peak. Today we have with us here in this very hall some of the best pharmaceutical manufacturers, food processing giants, IT and ITES and startups, as well as some of the most successful business persons this city has produced from various fields. I would like to inform you all that Odisha today has one of the best skill development programs. The Skilled in Odisha program has become a brand. From best-in-class engineering colleges to a highly effective ITI ecosystem to the new World Skill Center developed in collaboration with ADB and ITS Singapore, Odisha is becoming the skill hub of the East. From this stage, I would like to urge all of you to please explore Odisha as an investment destination. We have always been grateful to nature for providing us with a resource advantage, but it has been the concerted efforts of the Government of Odisha and the people of the state that have ensured to achieve success and prosperity by leveraging our natural resources advantage. But as saying goes, well begun is half done. We are definitely off the block, but as we enter into new era of industrialization propelled by advancements in technology and a philosophy of sustainability, we require a collaborative effort between the government, industry, and people to ensure a consistent growth for the state. The Make in Odisha Conclave 2022 is a platform that will bring all the stakeholders of the business and industry ecosystem together. While the Government of Odisha will use the platform to showcase the vast existing and emerging opportunities in the state, for the investors, we hope that industry captains and leaders will provide us with a broad framework for the future. Through the Make in Odisha Conclave 2022, we want to build new relationships and strengthen our old relationships with all of you. We want you all to be a partner in Odisha's growth story. Once again, I would like to extend a warm welcome to you. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, Honorable Minister Industries, MSME and Energy, Shri P.K. Dev ji, my senior colleagues on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, I would take you through a 15-minute presentation which would give you some details about the value proposition of Odisha, why we are here today to learn from you, to learn from these states of Andhra and Telangana, and the entrepreneurship which these two states have built for themselves and for the entire country, which we are proud of. I'll take you through the value proposition, what Odisha has to propose to you, how both of us, both Andhra, Telangana and Odisha can prosper together and grow together. The first and the most defining feature of Odisha, the unique proposition of Odisha for which we are known across the country, which contrasts us with the entire country today, is our Honorable Chief Minister, his uninterrupted long leadership for more than 22 years now. Ladies and gentlemen, you know we are a democratic framework. In a democratic polity, it takes something for a leader to emerge and to be elected again and again and again. Why? Because he must have done something for the people of Odisha That is why he is loved and cherished by crores of people of Odisha, and that is the unique selling proposition which we have before you today. This strong leadership, this focused leadership and political stability gives us not only strong foundations of governance, but what is called policy certainty. All investors look for policy certainty so that you are not taken by surprise after every 5 years. What a government had promised earlier does not change. There are no U-turns. There are no policy flip-flops in our state. And what we promise, we deliver. Consistently, we have delivered in the last two decades. This set of progressive policies and pro-people governance has given us one of the best growth rates in the country. Odisha's economy has grown at more than the national average at 10.1% for the last few years, and we are one of the fastest growing states in the country today. We have consistently outperformed the national average. Not only that, we have had a very fast post-COVID recovery. All of us went through a very difficult economic and industrial development phase. All states suffered, we also suffered, all of us were in this sufferance together. But Odisha is one state which, because of this focused leadership, because of this pro-people governance, and a set of policies which we adopted early on, saw us through this pandemic, and we have had a very rapid post-pandemic recovery. So much so that in the last 2 years, we have been able to generate investments of more than Indian rupees 4 lakh crore. And we must have done something. There must have been something in the leadership which we have in our state, why we were able to attract this much of investment in spite of a global pandemic-led slowdown. We are here to tell you some of these aspects of our industrial development, where we can grow together, where there are propositions for you, where there are opportunities for people like you to also come to Odisha and grow. You know Odisha is a mineral-rich state. We are the mineral hub of India. Odisha accounts for the largest production of iron ore, bauxite, manganese, chromite, and a very large production of coal in the country. This is the map of Odisha. You can see the mineral spread of Odisha. There is the pre-independence gazetteer of Odisha produced by the British. It says, every mineral important to mankind is mined in Odisha, and that is a truth. What we have done in the last 20 years is to harness this mineral advantage towards more and more of production, manufacturing, and industrial advantage. We, even earlier, were the largest producer of iron ore. We account for 25% of India's iron ore, 33% of India's coal, 52% of India's bauxite. Almost the entire chromite, manganese, nickel, and silica in the country are mined in Odisha. We are a very large exporter, the largest exporter of these products. But 20 years ago, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, we decided to opt for a policy of value addition. Minerals which are mined in Odisha are also further value added in Odisha. So we were and we continue to be the largest producer of iron ore, but now we are also the largest producer of steel. We are the largest producer of stainless steel, the largest producer of alumina, the largest producer of aluminium, and a very large producer of cement and power in the country. Ladies and gentlemen, just take a look at this map of Odisha. This has not happened on its own. This addition of manufacturing capacities in the metallurgical and metal sector is a planned strategy which was planned to the last detail by our Honorable Chief Minister with us. Look at this map of Odisha, you would find strategically located mining regions, strategically located metal manufacturing regions, and very intrinsically connected to the ports. We have a 480 kilometers long coastline. Look at the positioning of ports. So up north, we have the Suvarnrekha port, followed by the Dhamra port, Paradip port, Gopalpur port. This entire coastline is connected. The ports have very large industrial areas, and they are connected with rail, road connectivity with the metallurgical zones as well as the mining zones. Look at this, the table which we have shown here. Steel, in the year 2000, we were 2 million tons of steel in one steel plant. Today we have 31 million tons of steel in a dozen steel plants. There is no steel manufacturer in India not having a presence in Odisha. That is what we have done in the steel sector. Stainless steel, alumina and aluminium, the capacities which are being added are phenomenal. World's largest steel plant, world's second largest steel plant, world's third largest steel plant are being set up in Odisha by well-known companies like ArcelorMittal, Nippon Steel, Tata Steel, JSW, JSPL, JSL, and many regional players who were very small sponge iron manufacturers. Today they have integrated steel plants. They make TMT, they make rolled products, they make coils, they make steel tubes, they make pipes, and this is what we are here for. We are here to tell you about this opportunity that while this steel is being made in Odisha, you can actually further value add and grow your businesses. Now, not only that, in Odisha, we have tackled what is called the mining problem. In the last 2 years, we have auctioned several mines in the most transparent manner. In fact, we are the first state in the country to have done it on a modern technological platform, and the volumes of minerals in Odisha are increasing. We have a policy of long-term linkage of minerals to those who set up their industries in Odisha and are entitled to a long-term linkage for whatever raw material you need, whether it is iron ore or bauxite or chromite or manganese or mica or silica or quartz. You would get assured availability of this material right at your doorstep. Now, these two tables give you some of the additional opportunities. Look at iron ore beneficiation. Now, today we are at 160 million tons. We will grow to 360 million tons by 2026-27. Every year, new mines are being added up. Opportunities in ore beneficiation, opportunities in recycling and reuse of mineral waste, which is now mandatory, manufacturing of mining equipment, logistics, slurry pipelines, railways, multimodal logistics park. Today, Honorable Chief Minister had meeting with 36 numbers of representatives from Andhra and Telangana, and we were very happy to note that 2 new multimodal logistics parks who have their projects in Andhra and Telangana will also have additional projects in Odisha, and tremendous opportunities for you. Look at mining support services. Hyderabad, Andhra and Telangana are known for a vibrant IT and ITES. The mining services requires induction of technology, IT and communication, and people like you can come and prosper in Odisha while adding value to both these regions, Andhra, Telangana, as well as Odisha. Ancillary units to mother industries. Now, 1 ton of steel requires 4 tons of material to be moved, and 32 numbers of other commodities, chemicals, other services, carbon paste, anodes, cathodes, lancing pipe. The volume, bring them back to several of the locations. Now imagine if you are doing this in Odisha, and we can make it possible for you across all these sectors by enabling you tie-ups with mother plants and tremendous possibilities of new businesses. We are also emerging as leaders in ESTM, IT and ITS, and my colleague Manoj Mishra, who is Secretary Electronics, would tell you more about it. We are also emerging as leaders in textiles, technical textiles and apparel. All these, Jockey, Aditya Birla, Shahi, Wild Lotus, Cotton World, Gokul Das Exports, they are prospering in Bangalore, Coimbatore, Tirupur, even Hyderabad, but their additional units are all, expansion is all happening in Odisha for very valid reasons. Why? Because we have the raw material support in terms of cotton, we have the skilled worker support. Wherever you might be having your factories in India today, actually your workers come from Odisha, and more about it later. Now, this is a very important part of my presentation. Just look at this map of India. You would find Odisha is strategically located. We are surrounded by Andhra, Telangana, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal, parts of Bihar, and the entire northeast. This region, east and northeast of India, it today accounts for 45 crores of India's population and is a region which is growing at the highest CAGR in all categories of products, whether it is a pen or a shirt or a shoe or a pipe or cement or real estate or IT, any manufacturing, any fast-moving consumer good, capital good, whatever product or service category you have, this is the future region where growth is happening. And look at this map. If you wish to service this market, now all of you are prospering here, Andhra and Telangana, and we pray to God that you continue to prosper. Let these are your, this is your karma bhumi, you must prosper here. But if you are looking at this market, where will you set up your plant? Will you set up it in West Bengal? Or would you set up in Jharkhand, or Bihar, or Chhattisgarh, or in Odisha? Srikakulam, Vijayanagaram, and Visakhapatnam are 2 hours from Gopalpur, which is one of the fastest growing ports in India today. I mean, theoretically, we are Odisha and Andhra, Telangana. Practically, we are one. For businesses which have reached a critical mass, for every business, a time comes when you need to de-risk in the sense you need to go to new geographies. Never put all eggs in one basket. Whenever you are expanding, whenever you want to look at new markets, Odisha is the only place which can provide you that set of opportunities which is unparalleled in the country, whether it is consumer goods or whether it is commercial and retail real estate, including pharmaceuticals. And looking at this, being aware of this, this is what we have done for people like you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the map of Odisha. Every industrial sector which I mentioned earlier, we have planned for a industrial park. Large industrial parks, plug-and-play facilities, factory gate availability of connectivity, water, industrial power, and an uninterrupted supply of skilled workers, whether it is the Gopalpur Industrial Park. This is something which must interest you. I'll come to it a little later. This National Highway 16, which connects Kolkata with Chennai, is the spine. This is called the East Coast Economic Corridor. This corridor goes to Visakhapatnam and down south. On the western part of Odisha, where we have the new Jharsuguda Airport, we have the Biju Expressway, 400 kilometers, and along this, we have set up very good plug-and-play infrastructure industrial parks. Info Valley at Bhubaneswar, the Electronics Park at Bhubaneswar, Seafood Park at Bhubaneswar, the Biotech Park, which actually has been set up by an entrepreneur from Hyderabad, the Aluminium Park at Untitled, and the InfoCity Textile. For every product category, we have an offering for you. Odisha is very well connected because of the railways and road networks, and all these industrial areas have plug-and-play modular facilities for you. This is the Gopalpur Industrial Park, very close to Visakhapatnam. In fact, it is situated right in the middle of Bhubaneswar and Visakhapatnam. 2 hours from Bhubaneswar, you reach Gopalpur. 2 hours from Gopalpur, you reach Visakhapatnam. In Visakhapatnam, if you today want 5 acres of industrial land, you have to go 50 kilometers outside Visakhapatnam. At Gopalpur, we have more than 4,500 acres of industrial land ready to move in on the National Highway 16, 2.5 kilometers from the Gopalpur port, and a good, vibrant industrial sector. Info Valley at Bhubaneswar, 30 minutes drive from Bhubaneswar Airport, 800 acres for IT and electronics. You can see some of the facilities which have already come up. The Electronics Park at Bhubaneswar, again, just 45 minutes drive from the Bhubaneswar Airport. The Seafood Park. This is a unique park which we have set up only for processing of seafood. States like Andhra, states like Odisha, Kerala, we are a very large exporter of seafood. But Odisha is the only place where you can actually process seafood, add more value, and cater to markets in Southeast and West Asia, where we have good facilities for export. Yeah, incidentally, in all these parks which I mentioned to you, there are already investors from Andhra and Telangana who have already taken plots and are doing their activities. The Biotech Park, as I mentioned to you, this has been done by Bharat Biotech, is nearing completion. More than 65 acres of plant development, which was further growing. The Plastics Park at Paradip, linked to Indian Oil Corporation, and then the Untitled Aluminium Park. Now, this is something which I'll spend just 2 minutes extra. Aluminium is a metal which is the modern age metal, and we are the largest producer of aluminium in the country. It is used for new age products, modern products. It is fast replacing some metals, and in a composite form is very light and at the same time with strength. At Untitled, we have 220 acres of well-developed land. Just across the Nalco smelter, you get molten metal. What you have been spending transporting aluminium all the way, spending transportation costs, then further melting it, spending energy, and then bringing your product back to Eastern and Northeast India. If you come to Hon'ble, you can simply buy molten metal. We give assured supply, and further value addition is possible. OHub is our latest offering for the startups. More of it my colleague would mention to you. Now, this is what we call the land guarantee scheme. Now, as I mentioned to you, tremendous opportunities, but how can you participate in those opportunities? How easy would it be for people from Andhra and Telangana to come to Odisha? Ladies and gentlemen, we promise 30 acres of land in 30 days, 50 acres of land in 50 days, and 100 acres of land in 100 days with factory gate availability of water, power, and connectivity. And our single window system, through our single window system, we give you 54 clearances from 18 departments in one single application. Actually, sitting at Hyderabad, you can get all these clearances. This single window application called Go Swift, we got the National E-Governance Award. This is my photograph taking that award from the Union IT Minister recently. Highly competitive cost of doing business. The cost of electricity, the cost of industrial water, the cost of land and cost of other services is comparatively lower in case of Odisha. So while our ease of doing business is good, our cost of doing business is very low. So this is a good value proposition for all of you. We were discussing for the last 2 days with industries from Andhra and Telangana. Most of them have this question. What is the cost of power per unit in Odisha? And when we mentioned this to the industries, they were really surprised. How is it possible Odisha can offer uninterrupted 24/7 power to industries? Not only our cost is lower, we have no power holidays. We are a surplus state in power. Highly skilled workforce. The network of ITIs, polytechnics, engineering institutions which we have set up in Odisha, we have invested heavily in skill development. Skilled in Odisha is a brand now. Look inside your factories, whether it is in Hyderabad or Visakhapatnam or Vijayawada or Guntur or Ongole or Karimnagar or Vijayanagaram or Srikakulam, Coimbatore, Tirupur, Ludhiana, Jalandhar, Pune, Pimpri Chindwad. Wherever you go, you will find the most skilled, the most disciplined, and the most productive workers actually are from Odisha. Ladies and gentlemen, we account for just 4% of India's population. Last year, Government of India released the list of top 100 ITIs. 11 of Odisha's ITIs figure in the top 100 list. This is the strength which we have. Best in class incentives. Now, this is something which should interest you. Our investment policies are sector specific for the thrust and priority sectors where we want people like you to come and invest in Odisha. Our incentive structure is the best. 30% capital investment subsidy, rupees 2 per unit of power tariff reimbursement, 100% exemption of electricity duty, net SGST, stamp duty, and reimbursement of ESI and EPF. But this actually is not the real story. The real story is that what we commit, in case there is any state which offers an incentive of X, for thrust and priority sectors, we are prepared to offer an incentive of X plus. This is our value proposition. But ladies and gentlemen, even that is not all. This is actually not the real story. The real story is this. The real story is that we deliver what we commit. No policy flip-flops. We are a transparent and honest state under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister. Not even a single penny of any industry is pending for incentive release in Odisha. On 31st March every year, we have to give a certificate to our government that yes, all incentives have been paid for. This is a new initiative called Mo Sarkar. Our Honorable Chief Minister makes 20 telephone calls every day to randomly selected investors and industrialists and people who come to meet us in our offices, have their work done, and he asks them a set of 5 questions. Were you treated well? Did anybody ask for a bribe? Was there any harassment? Has your work been done on time? And this feedback is used to provide guidance to our officers and officers. If in case of any adverse or negative feedback, strict action is taken. Positive feedback also leads to further encouragement for the employees. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I wanted to tell you. To know more about us, to know more about Odisha, come to Odisha, come to Bhubaneswar. Some of you can just drive down from Srikakulam, Visakhapatnam, you just drive down 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you are in Odisha. For those of you at Hyderabad, you can take flights to Odisha. We are organizing the Make in Odisha Conclave from 30th November to 4th of December. We are here to invite you all for this. Will have exciting sessions spread over 5 days to interest each one of you from 30th November to 4th of December. Across all these sectors, you can discover new possibilities, new infrastructure opportunities, and we are very well connected. We have good options for accommodation, very vibrant cultural scene, and you would really love to be in Odisha during these days. If you want to have any additional information, we have the 3 nodal officers here. Shri Shubhendra Nayak, Additional Secretary, he is here. Shri Kalyan Mohanty, Executive Director of IPICOL, and Shri Rajiv Dhal, he is General Manager of IPICOL. Please feel free to be in touch with them to plan for your visits and for your investments. Thank you so much.
Industry Secretary already told you about the infrastructure that we have. In specific to IT sector, I can tell you that we have about 750 acres of ready built up area which is occupied and available near Bhubaneswar. So from the airport, by the time when you land in Hyderabad airport and you take the 11-kilometer flyover, by that time, that is the time, 10 minutes it takes from our airport to reach to this quality infra that we have built for IT. We understand that IT requires different kind of space, different kinds of lifestyle. So it is all around Bhubaneswar, and we understand very well that you are in the business of making money. You are not in the business of getting lured by promising policies, and so we must have something which you need. And that's the second bucket that I have, a dedicated talent pool. No matter what you say, I have interacted at least with 25 IT industries from your state today. And mota moti, all of them say that 30% of their workforce are ODIs. 30%. When we last time we had gone to Bangalore for a similar roadshow, we said the largest district of Odisha is Bangalore, because that's the maximum number of ODIs stay anywhere. So this is the quality of manpower that we have, that we produce about almost 75,000 engineering graduates every year. We have every institute of eminence you can think of. You think of IITs, triple ITs, you have NITs, you have IIM, you have XIMB, you have NISER, ISER. In IT, you not only require people from the IT background, you require people from science, and require people from across. And IT is not only engineering. We are today talking about being the largest BPO country in the world. And when we speak about potential investors, they talk about the quality of regular graduates that come out of colleges in Odisha. We almost similar number, about 75,000 regular graduates who come out who are good in spoken English and spoken Hindi, which is good enough to take care of the business in BPOs. So this is what we propose, that we have what you need. Rest all are the icing. So we talked about policies. In the last 1.5 years, when we were struggling with COVID, we utilized that time to come out with 4 policies specific to IT. One is IT policy, the mother policy, but we also recognize 3 sectors which are going to be really, really key. One is the BPO I talked about, second is the ESDM, that is manufacturing in electronics, and the third one is the data center policy. And today we see that almost about 6 data center proposals from the time we have announced the policies have come through. As Principal Secretary told you, that our Honorable CM has given only one order to us, that any policy you make today has to be the best in the country. So I can confidently say that these 4 policies as they stand today are the best. And we don't limit ourselves to the policies only. You have fairly large amount of investment that you think you can do in Odisha. We will deal one-to-one, and we will curate a proposal for you which you will find it very hard to refuse. So Market access, I will not talk much. I think sir has already told you about, we have 3 ports. 2 of them, one port, Paradip port, is the largest cargo handling port in the country today, if you take out liquid liquid cargo. And Dhamra port, which is up in the Bhadrak district in Odisha, is going to be a 300 million ton port in the next 3 years. And Gopalpur port, which is closer to you, which is run by Sapurji Palonji Group, all are being run by professional companies, and they all will become 100 million ton plus ports in the state. Our railway network is something that we pride with. That is because we produce so much of mineral that we carry, so railway network is absolutely top class in the country anywhere. Beyond this, that what we talk about very with a lot of pride is about the transparent and the progressive policies that we have and the processes that we have. I can talk about IT, but then IT is not the only thing that defines us. What defines us is what we fondly say is that Odisha cares. That is in our gene. So this is how I need to introduce our state to you, that Odisha always cares. How we have cared during COVID, that we gave oxygen to almost 21 states in the country. Odisha cares for the nation. Odisha cares for sports and nation also. We sponsor the Indian men and women national teams for the last 5 years and going forward next 5 years. We care for the country. We care for our people, and we have shown that through introducing something which is profound. First time in the country that a state has launched a program on health, which is an assurance program where 5 lakh to 10 lakh rupees is given every year to 96 lakh families, which is almost about 85% of our population. Is the single biggest health intervention in the country that the country has seen. We care for our people, and we also care for our people we have demonstrated by making Puri as the first city in the whole of country to have drink from tap like what you have seen in Barcelona, in New York, in Paris. When we say we care for people, we don't only care for only citizens. Any investor is also our people, and we care. So that is why when sir talked about Go Swift, I just wanted to say 2 things that what we do in Go Swift. Incentive is given. Many states give, many states announce. He has not discussed, I am not discussing what we give you incentive. You would have read in the websites and you would know. I would not waste my time on that. It is how we give and when we give. These are the 2 critical things that many states don't talk about. How we give is we give it through a completely non-personalized manner, through an online methodology by which you don't have to deal with government officials. We understand what it means by dealing with government officials. So you get it through a very transparent manner, sitting at your own offices. That is how we give. And when we give is when it is due. That's most important. If I announce something today and I give you 5 years hence, your business would get shut down. So this is how I keep saying that the process is transparent and the process is progressive. And the last thing that I wanted to say is that why do we companies struggle so much to retain people? There's a study which has been done by NASSCOM which says that the attrition rate in the IT/ITES sector is the lowest in Odisha. Why would it be like that? You would be hearing a lot of news about Odisha in the last 5-7 years. I must tell you there are certain things that the IT professionals in the young and the middle level, they look for. They look for a quality of life. Good schools, good colleges, good medical facility, and great weekend getaways. If you don't recognize that, you will not be able to retain people. They'll work for 5 days, they'll work hard, they'll play hard. We have 60 world-class, international class tourist destinations which are weekend getaways within 2 hours drive from Bhubaneswar. That makes people stay in Odisha. And that's why, fortunately for us and unfortunately for many companies, when the work from home has started, our people who have gone back to Odisha and seen the change and seen the new Odisha are not coming back to your companies. So COVID has decoupled work and workforce. Now you can't get them to your workplace. You have to move your workplace to where the workers are. So this is the time when we are rolling a red carpet for you. If you don't take this opportunity, perhaps you will struggle to find them going forward 2 or 3 years after.
Honorable Minister of Industry, MSME and Energy, Shri Pratap Keshari, respected Chief Secretary Odisha, my colleagues from Government of Odisha, DG FICCI, delegates from industry, a very warm good evening to all of you. On behalf of Government of Odisha, Startup Odisha, and on my personal behalf, I extend a very warm welcome to this very gathering. I must say that you have gone through the presentation made by Principal Secretary Industries and Secretary Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha. And you would have known that Odisha is a policy-driven state. We have not only capitalized and tapped the kind of energies, the kind of minerals, the kind of natural resources that we have, the kind of production that we make in the agriculture sector. But you have also seen that we have made endeavor to capitalize on all those things to create wealth, create job within the state. Now Government of Odisha is focusing on taking this journey further, endeavor further. And we are trying to focus on the promotion of a startup ecosystem in the state so that the young boys and girls of Odisha could capitalize on the energies, the talent pool that the resources that we have, the policy that we have, the infrastructure that we have, and convert our ideas into product and create wealth and job within the state of Odisha. I must say that we had a policy on Odisha Startup Policy 2016 under the leadership of Honorable CM, and we ensured that our policy becomes very inclusive in terms of geography and in terms of gender. If you look at the policy, we are best in class. We offer fiscal incentives which are best in the entire country. We also offer non-fiscal benefit. You have heard, you have listened to the presentation. You know that we are policy-driven state. We work very swiftly. We handhold the investors and entrepreneurs, and that is how we have been now seen as the most progressive state in the country. We also support the infrastructure providers, incubators, accelerators in the state, and again I would say that we have got 24 incubators within the state, and they are working in varieties of domain, variety of sectors of knowledge. If you look at the achievement that we have made since 2016, we have not looked back. Now we have a very state-of-the-art Odisha Startup Hub. We call it O-Hub, which is 4 lakh square feet of space. And it is becoming a kind of center, nerve center, where all the activities around the startups are happening. We were recognized as top performer by Government of India, DPIIT, in 2021 as a top performer state among the country. You can see the picture that the Government of India has just recognized us. Look at the statistics. We have achieved the 1,350 recognized startup by now, 24 incubators in the state. And you can see that we are capitalizing and tapping the entire ecosystem that we have. Secretary Electronics and IT has made that we have knowledge industries in the state. We have R&D institution, S&T institution in the state. We generate and produce a huge amount of talent within the state. And we are tapping and creating an ecosystem by which we are capitalizing the entire infrastructure and ecosystem that we have within the state. We have startups not only in IT services, not only in healthcare and life sciences, art, craft, and handloom, but we also have a sizable amount of startups in food processing and agriculture sector. You know that we are the leading producer of certain agricultural items, and we want to augment the livelihood of the people involved there, and that is why it is very important for us to promote the startups in this sector too. There are promising startups, they are growing a lot, they are attracting a lot of investment, and that is how the Startup Odisha and startups of Odisha are being recognized and noticed by the ecosystem player from all across the world. As I said, we have 4 lakh square feet of a opportunity hub, Odisha Startup Hub, and that is becoming a house for having the center of excellences, incubators, places for mentors, investors, and other ecosystem players, and that is how it is emerging as a place where all the activities are happening. We have centers of excellences in variety of domain, various sectors of knowledge, and they are helping our startups to convert their ideas into product. Again, we have R&D institution, educational institution. It has been just presented before you, and they are the people who are becoming not only mentors, but from these institutions, we are also attracting a lot of young boys and girls who are becoming entrepreneurs and startups with us. These are the incubators that we have. Of late, the investor ecosystem has grown. We are attracting a lot of investment. In just last month, we had publicized, we had floated a RFP for bringing fund of fund managers in the state, and we are very happy that before this MIO, we'll have more than 1,200 crore fund commitment, which will be spent in our startup ecosystem in state of Odisha, and it will be available to our startups. We have knowledge, we also have co-working space in the state, but it is a land of opportunity. We invite the investors in terms of not only startups, but incubators, accelerators, investors, co-working spaces within the state of Odisha will handhold you, take you through the very swift approvals, and come and join us and capitalize and tap the kind of ecosystem, the kind of energy that we have within the state. This is a opportune time. And now, on behalf of Government of Odisha, I extend you an invitation, open invitation, and come invest with us, work with us, and help us grow. Thank you very much.
I welcome you all to this Make in Odisha Conclave in Hyderabad. On the dais, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Naveen Patnaik ji, the Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, Shri Mahapatra, Principal Secretary, Industry Department, Shri Hemant Sharma, IT Secretary, Shri Manoj Mishra, and Executive Chairman of Startup Odisha, Shri Omkar, and DG FICCI, Shri Chawla ji. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard a very exhaustive presentation from the Industry Department by Mr. Sharma, who have very elaborately gave you a presentation about what we are going to do. Followed by Mr. Mishra in the IT sector, followed by Mr. Rai in the Odisha startup sector. In the center of this entire thing, the vision we are carrying out to industrialize Odisha is the vision of our Honorable Chief Minister. And the journey to this place has not been easy. I go to the first slide, 22 years of governance, perseverance, sincerity, and the blessing of the people of Odisha and the blessing of Lord Jagannath. We are not sitting idle with so much of resources, so much of things which could have attracted you today. In 22 years of governance, we are not sitting idle. We had a very big backlog, reported negatively in the press for various reasons. Finances were down, poverty was there, education was at a lower level. So we invested heavily on agriculture, set right of finances, invested on the youth, on technical education, and took us 15 years to stand up and to give this kind of a presentation you just saw. This couldn't have been possible without the sincerity and the vision of our Chief Minister. And that is why the people of Odisha love him. And the stage we have reached, and today I speak for the youth of my state. They are the people who will take the state forward. As a politician, as a minister in the Honorable Chief Minister's Cabinet, I stand by what we say here. It's a kind of commitment the Government of Odisha is giving. Our Honorable Chief Minister himself is present on the dais. The pluses you saw here, the X+1 commitment we give, the incentives delivered at proper time, and handholding of the industry as our own is the key point of our governance. And when Honorable Chief Minister says about industrialization, and we have taken it as a policy since 2016, MIOs in every 2 years, that means we are also flexible in our policy. It's not that we are stuck up with our policy. As time changes, policy required to change. That's why we have kept this 2-year window. We will move as per the market. The decision will be taken by the government as per the requirement. And this stage we have come here, and the thought process we come here, is like the small presentation you saw in Mo Sarkar, the terminology Mo Sarkar, where the government takes up the responsibility not only of the citizenry of the state, as well as the asset of the state. And ladies and gentlemen, when we have come here to request you, we consider you as an asset for the state. And we will take good care of you. And we have taken. Like you heard, Honorable Chief Minister himself calls 20 calls a day in every sphere. That includes industry also. I, as the minister, also follow up, and the entire bureaucracy also follows up. And how does this thing move? We have got a mantra in ourselves. We have taken it on ourselves, which is called 5T. Time, teamwork, transparency, technology, leading to transformation. That is the mantra we are working on. And the gentleman, in a very Seedha Sada Kapda, sitting behind Honorable Chief Minister, is the person who drives it. And this is how we have achieved this Mo Sarkar, this mindset, how to deliver, how to take the step, how to take the state to the next step. And when we say all these things and present you all these things, what we mean basically is inclusive industrialization. This terminology I use because no industrialization in no state is successful without the help of the public or the end beneficiary. So end beneficiary of my state is the people of Odisha. So we have to partner them. So the sectors, what we showed you today, are a plus sectors. But I can assure you, as the Minister of Industries, that we are open to manufacturing from a needle to a TMT bar, anything in between. It might be tourism, food processing, pharmacy. Pharmacy is a big sector. That's in our priority sector. Paucity of time, we are not being able to present the entire spectrum. But if you go through our website, you'll get the entire priority list. We have to value add to the system. People need to be benefited by this value addition. COVID management, we have the entire country has seen and the world has seen how we managed, how we stood. So that idea needs to be taken forward. We are surplus in grain, we are surplus in rice, we are surplus in millet, we are surplus in corn, and we've got a huge potential in marine exports that directly benefits the common man. Education has gone up. We have got very standard education institutions. Many people are passing out to the tune of about 70,000 a year. So we've got a workforce. We have got land. We have got 11% of the country's water, 32% of the country's green cover. And to cap it all, we are past surplus. I am also the energy minister. Our total producing capacity today in the state is about 19,000 megawatts. My state itself on its own produces about 8,135 megawatts. My requirement is about 4,500 peak hour. So no power cuts unless there is some technical glitch. And we intend to increase this power, generation of power, to another about 20,000 megawatts over a period of 20 years. So we are power surplus, no power cuts. We have got land, we have got water, we have got the technical know-how, we have got the technical workforce, and to top it all, the commitment from the government, the head of the government, and the zeal to go forward. So I think, gentlemen, I make myself clear when I say these words that we are ready for industrialization. We are ready for you. I welcome you all. Please invest in Odisha. Join the Jagannath. Thank you all. Thank you. Jai Jagannath.
Honorable Minister, ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to meet all of you today in the historic city of Hyderabad. It's inspiring to see the transformation of the city in the last few decades into a major destination for technology, pharmaceuticals, and manufacturing. I would like to compliment the enterprising spirit of the business fraternity of Hyderabad. I'm here to invite you all to Odisha and be a part of our transformative journey. Odisha is in a takeoff stage and will witness high growth in the next 10 years. We are now progressing faster than ever in every sector. On the strength of our abundant natural resources, skilled human resources, and stable governance, Odisha is emerging as a leading destination for industries and investment. Most of the top IT companies have established their centers in Bhubaneswar. The government is also providing continuous support to the startup ecosystem in the city. Odisha is ranked amongst the top states of India in terms of live manufacturing investments and has been accorded the Achiever status in the recently released Ease of Doing Business ratings. The Make in Odisha Conclave 2022 is a platform for our state to showcase our growth story and present what we have to offer to investors across the globe. It is a platform for industry captains and thought leaders to talk about the future outlook of various industrial sectors. Odisha is committed to provide an ecosystem for job-linked industrial growth. We would like to offer the best incentives in the country for promotion of business opportunities. Our government walks the talk. Hence, I welcome all of you to Odisha and seek your participation in the Make in Odisha Conclave being held in Bhubaneswar from the 30th of November to the 4th of December this year. Come, invest in Odisha and be our partner in ushering in a new industrial age. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chief Minister, for your noteworthy address. Under your glorious vision, the Make in Odisha event will indeed be a benchmark for vision meets reality. I'd like to now lastly invite Shri Arun Chawla, Director General of FICCI, our National Industries Partner for Make in Odisha Conclave 2022, and requesting him to kindly propose a vote of thanks.
Shri Naveen Patnaik, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, Shri Pratap Keshari, Honorable Minister of Industries, MSME and Energy, Government of Odisha, Shri Suresh Chandra Mahapatra, Chief Secretary of Odisha, dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. This overwhelming response for today's program is not a surprise. It is not unprecedented, as wherever we had roadshow for Make in Odisha Conclave, with the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha personally leading the charge, the result has been the same. It owes as much to the emergence of Odisha as one of the most attractive investment destinations in India, as much to the personal popularity of the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha. It is therefore an honor for me to convey our deepest gratitude to the Honorable Chief Minister for gracing the event today. Sir, under your dynamic leadership, Odisha has become a fountainhead to many success stories. These success stories range a wide array of areas, including disaster management, people's welfare programs, skill development, sports and smart city initiatives, and many more. Honorable Chief Minister, your mere presence is so inspirational. Thank you very much for sparing your valuable time to be with us. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me in applauding the Honorable Chief Minister. Yes. I'm also grateful to Shri Pratap Shri Deb, Honorable Minister of Industries, MSME and Energy, Government of Odisha, and the team of senior officials of Odisha government, Shri Suresh Chandra Mahapatra, Chief Secretary, Shri Hemant Sharma, Principal Secretary, Industries, and other senior officials for the presence today. FICCI has been privileged to have their constant guidance and support in organizing various activities pertaining to the conclave. Ladies and gentlemen, with rich natural resources, robust infrastructure, skilled talent pool and proactive government, Odisha is indeed a land of endless opportunities for investors across sectors. The Government of Odisha has been making constant and meaningful efforts for enhancing the investment attractiveness of the state through its policy interventions and encouraging ease of doing business. As a result, Odisha has been growing at a rapid pace, and inflow of investments into the state over the last 2 decades has been truly remarkable. Going forward, this momentum is all set to increase. So, ladies and gentlemen, there are obvious synergies and scope for collaborations and investment in Odisha in some key sectors like IT, defense and aerospace, textiles, food processing, pharmaceuticals and biotechnology, MSMEs, and many other areas. I sincerely hope that today's meet would serve as a springboard for a long-term and fruitful business partnership between investors community here and the state of Odisha. FICCI will continue to facilitate the dialogue between the state government and the potential investors. Ladies and gentlemen, the last 2 editions of Make in Odisha Conclave saw overwhelming response from the perspective of investment intentions and participation level. Going by the tremendous interest we got during the roadshows in Delhi, Dubai, Mumbai, Bangalore, Ahmedabad, Coimbatore, and now here in Hyderabad, I'm sure the 3rd edition of the Make in Odisha Conclave, scheduled from 30th November to 4th December, is going to surpass the success of previous editions. Let me at this juncture offer our sincere thanks to members of the media present here. Last but not least, I'm grateful to all of you for participating in this important session with the Honorable Chief Minister. So once again, on behalf of the state, on behalf of FICCI, join the Juggernaut.